In my freshman year in high school, during a assignment in my English class, I did a parody of a Boy George song, Karma Chameleon, the Culture Club hit Karma Chameleon, and then I realized I'd be stuck doing this the rest of my life. I remember my arm was shaking. I have tremors because I'm a trauma survivor, so my arm was shaking, and I'm a trauma survivor, multiple traumas. So a lot of times I don't feel comfortable in my own skin, and sometimes I shake really easily. I was super nervous. I'm not nervous about tonight's show. I mean, there might be an a-hole in the audience, but I'm sure it's going to be a good time. I only really get nervous when I have super important gigs, or if it's on local TV or something. But I usually don't get too nervous at open mics. I have what you call reverse stage fright. I feel more comfortable when there's a lot of people in the room than if there's a few people in the room, unless those people aren't there for a comedy show or like walking TV or talking or something. But as long as there's a lot of people and they're there for a comedy show, I know I can have a good show. Richard Pryor, that his classic concert, I forgot where they filmed that, but I have it on DVD. I like, let's see, that's a good one. I used to say, I had a Bill Cosby album, but I can't say that anymore. And he was a big influence of mine, and I'm sorry he did what he did, but if he did the crime, he had to do the time. True, he did a lot for the black community and a lot for people in general, but it was disgusting what he did, so even though he did a lot of good, he should have went to prison 50 years ago after his first offense. But he's in prison now just for one, so it's something. I like Bobcat Goldthwait is a big influence of mine. A big comedic influence of mine who wasn't actually a comedian was Pee Wee Herman. Just his style had a big influence on me. Another non-comic who had a big influence on me is probably Patrick Stewart. Like I'm bald like him, and like the way he conducts himself and tries to do good outside of the entertainment business has been an inspiration to me and how I want to conduct myself as a performer. On comics, I'm having trouble mentioning comics. Like Louis C.K. was a big influence on me, and look what he did. Jerry Seinfeld hasn't done anything terrible yet, but although he did have a fling with a teenager, she was 17. It was legal in New York because the legal age for consent in New York is 17. So it was legal. Does it make it right? No. So I mean, I'd still say I'm a fan of Jerry Seinfeld, even though I didn't like what he did there. I mean, it's not as bad as like what Kevin Spacey did, sexually assaulting a 16-year-old. But it was consensual, obviously. But it still probably wasn't right. Let's see. There's Bobcat. Let me think of like I said, Roseanne Barr was my favorite female comic of all time. Now not anymore. So because of what happened with Roseanne, I would say my new favorite female comic of all time, at least until she does something stupid, is probably Whoopi Goldberg. She was a big influence of mine. Richard Pryor, Carlin. I don't know if Carlin ever did anything bad or not, but he died before he got busted, or maybe he didn't at all. I don't know. He was definitely big. And Carrot Top. Currently, I like the Connors. I don't know. I hope it lasts. I hear that it's getting. They knew it wasn't going to get as good rating as Roseanne, but I hear John Goodman and Laurie Metcalf might have to take a pay cut. I like The Simpsons. I mean, I kind of wish it went off the air about 10 years ago, but I still watch it. It's gotten a little better lately. It's not as bad as it's not as good as it was in the 90s, but it's gotten a little better lately than it's been for the past few years. Family Guy kind of run its course too. I still watch it. It can still be funny sometimes. But South Park, I really like. The thing why I would pick South Park over those two shows is because they were always trying something new on South Park. Like Family Guy and Simpsons, they stuck to the same formula as long as the show's been on. But South Park, they're always trying new things. Let's see, what other sitcoms do I like? Seinfeld, obviously, classic. I mean, even though what I just said about Seinfeld, it did have a big effect on the way we talk and the way we communicate that show. Other sitcoms. Let's see. What other sitcoms do I watch? Yeah, those are pretty much. I did watch Cosby Show, but you know what happened there, so I can't even like. I can still watch Seinfeld and maybe a Roseanne rerun, even though I don't like what they did. But Bill Cosby was just. I can't watch anything with him in it anymore. I like old Saturday Night Live. I liked the first few seasons of Mad TV when Orlando Jones and Artie Lang were on the show, but it kind of lost me after that. I was a big fan of the sketch show that was on MTV in the '90s. The State. It launched the careers of many actors and comedians who did big. Michael Ian Black, Thomas Lennon. Who else got big? Michael Showalter. A lot of them went on to do great things in the show. But now looking back, some of the humor on this can be kind of dated, but it got bad reviews when it came out, but I thought it was really funny, and it helped launch the careers of a lot of people who did big things. My favorite comedy film of all time is Monty Python's Life of Brian. I'm a huge Monty Python fan. Monty Python and the Holy Grail is my favorite of all time. Monty Python, Life of Brian, probably my second. Let's see, Kingpin's a great one. Wayne's World. I like the first Austin Powers. I didn't like the other ones though. What other one? What am I else? Kingpin. Let's think. Comedy film. Back to the Future. Even though it's part comedy, part drama, part sci-fi. Let's see. Kingpin. Something About Mary. What else? Think of. Something About Mary. Spinal. Definitely, this is Spinal Tap. My favorite recent comedies are probably Ted and Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. Probably Rodney Dangerfield. Be nice to your kids, they'll pick your nursing home. I would say, even though he was famous before he started doing stand-up, I would love to go on tour with Mick Foley. I know his stand-up's great. He was a great wrestler. He's my favorite wrestler of all time. I would love to go on tour with him. I would love to go on tour with Bobcat Goldthwait. And let's see, any other ones? Maybe Whoopi Goldberg. I don't think my style would match her style. Lately, as Trump got elected, I've been less of a dirty comedian, more of a political comedian. But I don't know if they'd have me on tour with Whoopi Goldberg, but I wouldn't mind it. Greg Giraldo, I would love to roast me. Jeffrey Ross, Don Rickles. Who else would I like to roast me? Lisa Lampanelli, and let's see, which one are we on? Lisa Lampanelli and Rodney Dangerfield. I do a little bit of drama too. I do a little bit of theater too. I also work on one of my jobs is at a haunted house. I've acted in a few movies. I like to do a little bit of acting. I've done improv things before. Like I have a set, like this thing called "What's It Like in a Psych Ward" during my set, where people ask questions about what's it like in a psych ward, and I get funny but two answered. It's like my Freebird. It's like what I'm most known for. I've never done actual improv. I don't like how in Chicago, maybe in other places, a lot of the stand-up comics and the improv comics hate each other. It's just a slightly different art form. I think that whole rivalry is stupid. I don't know if I'd ever do improv because I've been doing stand-up for so long. Like if I lived in another part of the country where they had a better improv scene, I might have gotten more into improv. Let me think. Let's see. I do a little bit of theater. I was trying doing a little bit of singing, but when I became a young adult, I had some anxiety issues catch up with me from some trauma, and it made my muscles stiffen up. I couldn't sing as well. It's gotten better. I would consider maybe singing in a band, but the thing is, I can put lyrics to music, but I can't really compose music because I don't really play any instruments. I played a little bit of piano, but that was it. But I haven't ruled it out as never being in a band. But Like my good friend Kale Bullock, he did comedy for a while, and he does more music stuff now, but he still does a little bit of comedy. I haven't ruled that out, but I would definitely do some acting along with my comedy. Well, I'm trying to move to the city. I'm trying to get a job in the city so I can finally move down here. I work at a movie theater right now and get disability, but I just got my bachelor's. But the job search isn't going as well as I thought it would be. I want to get a job soon, so then when my low income housing runs out, then I plan on getting a place in the city, either a small apartment or get a place with a roommate who I know I can trust, if that's an option. And then I plan on living in Chicago for about at least 2 years. And then when I'm where I need to be a comedian, I plan on moving to LA. The main thing I gotta get better at a comedian is so I'm gonna have mainstream success is with my autism and my anxiety. Sometimes I have trouble doing longer sets, just remembering my jokes, and especially if the set's not going too well. So like the main thing I gotta get better at before I go to LA is doing longer sets. And who knows, maybe I'll just be spend the rest of my career getting $10 if I'm lucky at a bar show. Maybe I'll be selling out Madison Square Garden. I can't see the future. Facebook.com/BipolarBJ, or Twitter, I think it's BipolarBJ too. And if you want to look at my website, go to comedianbrianjohnson.com. Lately, since I've become a more political comedian, to wake up and see what's going on around you, and like with my jokes about mental health, I would like you to see to try to erase the stigma with mental illness. I've been the victim of ableism many times in my life, just to understand that not all people with mental health problems are dangerous and violent, and to try to take the time to talk to them, listen, and and if you have mental health issues, know you're not the only one who's suffering. Hi, I'm Brian Johnson, comedian Brian Johnson, Chicago-based comic. Check out my interview at cutie.pie.com.